So this question involves a star, which means we've got to do lots of explanations. It's about money being invested for 2 years, and it's about two banks, and we're having to compare the investment to see which one gives us the most interest. So we want the most interest as possible. So recommended technique, split your page in half, make sure the examiners are quite clear about your workings. That's what the star is telling us. So we'll have workings for Bank A and we'll have workings for Bank B. So Bank A. Bank A says that it earns 3% interest per annum and compounded. Now what we've got to remember is that compound means that you earn interest on interest. So we need to work out how much interest we get in the first year, add it onto the investment, and then we'd work out the new interest on the new amount and then add that interest on to get our final value for the end of 2 years. So for year one, we've got 3% of 4,000 to find. Now it's a non-calculated paper, so 1% is found by dividing by 100. 100, 1% in a whole, so divide by 100. So 4,000 divided by 100, 40. So 1% is £40, so 3% is going to equal 3 times £40, which is £120 interest. So for year two, we need 3% of 4,120. Now all we've done is we just added the £120 interest onto the 4,000 that we initially had to get how much money we got at the beginning of year two. So we need 3% of £412 now. Well, same technique, 1% divided by 100, that will be £41.20. Remember, it's money, so always have the extra zero on the end if you need it to make two decimal places. So 3% is going to be 3 of those. So whatever technique you use, so 0, 6 decimal points, 1 3 is 3, 4 3s are 12. So 120, so we did 0 times 3, 2 times 3 is 6, we've got a decimal point to put it down, 1 times 3 is 3, 4 times 3 is 12, nothing to carry over. So 3% is £123.60 this time to add on. So the total interest is £120 for the first year plus £123.60 for the second year. So in total we have 100 plus 100 is 200, 220, 240, so £243.60. So that's the total interest for Bank A. Compound, remember, so work out 3%, add it on for the first year, work out 3% of the new amount, add it on, add the interest on, and then you find out the total interest for the 2 years. Now for Bank B, we're looking at earning 3.2% per annum of simple interest. Well, what simple interest means is you get the same interest every year, whatever. You don't add it onto the original investment and you don't get any extra interest on interest. You literally just get the same interest year in, year out on the initial investment. So the question is saying for us for Bank B, we need to find 3.2% of £4,000, and whatever that answer is, we double it for 2 years, because this is the interest you get for 1 year. So this is the interest for 1 year. Again, we've got lots of techniques, but non-calculated paper, you might find it easy to just do 1% first, which we saw earlier was £40. Divide that by 100 gives you 40. Then 0.1%, because we're dealing with decimals here, 0.1%, well, 1% to become 0.1 means we've moved it back one place, so in other words we've divided by 10. So 0.1% is going to equal £4. So 3% is going to be £120, 3 times 40, and 0.2% is going to be £8. It's going to be 2 of these. So altogether then, 3.2% of 4,000 equals £128. That's per year. So that's the interest we get per year. Now because it's simple interest, we just remember that the difference between compound and simple. Compound, year by year, you get extra interest on the interest you earned before. So technically you're going to get more money in the end for long-term investments on compound effects. But we'll have a look at what happens with this one. 3.2%, £128 per year. So for 2 years, we get 2 times £128, which is going to be £256. Remember, if you're not sure what to do, then just put them twice, add them together. 8 and 8, 6, 1 to carry. 8 and 8, 16, 1 to carry. 2 and 2 and 1 is 5, 1 and 1 is 2. So £256. So we can see from the figures we've got then, for Bank B, after 2 years, there'd be £256. For Bank A, there'd be £243. Now it's a starred question, so that means we must communicate our final answer. The question said, which bank should Henry choose? So we should have a sentence that says, Bank B would be chosen, get more interest, or words to that effect. Now, a better answer would be to say how much more interest and things like that, but the examiners would give you them out just for saying Bank B would give you more interest, therefore you've chosen that, and you've got your workings to back it up. So starred question again, think about how to lay it out. 2 things to compare, so split your page in half, do the sums for one thing, do the sums for the other thing, and then make sure you've got that sentence at the end that says what your choice is and why.